If you work in a financial institution or work as a law enforcement officer, the possibility that you will be confronted by a bank robber like these is getting closer every day. There are more than 6,000 bank robberies every year, and the number is increasing significantly. As you can see, robbers come in all shapes and sizes. Some are men with disguises, and some are women with disguises. Some pass notes. Some claim to have bombs, and some do have bombs. Some work alone, and some work in groups. And all of them are potentially violent. If an actual robbery does occur, how you act may influence the safety of everyone involved and could affect the ultimate capture of the robbers. When it happens, it'll be fast and frightening. Inside, you'll be surprised and scared, and that's going to affect how you respond. How you react to a robbery is going to be determined by how well you've prepared yourself to respond with control. Ultimately, the key will be a plan developed between financial institutions and law enforcement agencies for a safe, silent alarm response. The truth is, just like in law enforcement, routine is a large part of day-to-day operations, isn't it? The same transactions are made over and over. The same people are seen over and over. It's easy to fall into a routine, and that's exactly what robbers are looking for when they case a financial institution before a robbery. Besides learning the building layout, they observe which employees seem most inexperienced or most easily intimidated. Robbers also want to know if the managers stagger their lunches or breaks.
$70.
It's worth remembering that a lone robber or note passer usually wants to commit the robbery with the least disturbance possible.
Did you want that in cash?
Yes, sir.
He wants to know how alert you are to what's going on around you. Is it part of your routine to periodically scan the customers? If it is, it may be just enough to scare off a potential note passer.
Yes, ma'am. Is this regarding a real estate loan? Yes, I'll transfer your call. Thank you.
The rule, of course, is to observe the unusual. Personnel should look for strangers who loiter,
Will this be cash or money order? Cash.
or people dressed in an odd way for the weather, or wearing something that could be a disguise,
Can I have your signature right there, please?
or a person in line who becomes more nervous as he gets closer to the teller. In Oregon, the teller had pushed the suspicion button and activated the surveillance cameras the day before for 3 reasons.
Thank you.
A nervous stranger dressed in an odd way, and someone with an empty paper bag. She had once seen photographs like these, and she remembered all those paper bags.
Okay, sir. Be sure
And
to
in
keep
this
your
case,
traveler's checks
the
away from
teller
the
was
records
right.
in case they should get lost or stolen.
Okay, thank
Okay?
you.
All right, bye-bye.
Ponme dinero en el paquete.
I'm sorry, I don't understand Spanish.
Money.
Obviously, she could have been wrong, but the point is that unless you remain alert for the unusual, you are not really prepared to prevent robbers or assist law enforcement in their capture. Is it your habit to be alert or not? Only 2 people will know for sure, you and a potential robber.
Can I help you?
Good afternoon.
Are you going fishing today?
No, I'm sticking up your bank. There's a bomb in this tackle box, and it's going to go off if you don't do exactly what I say. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Fine. I want you to open your cash drawer, take out all your 10s and 20s, put them in a bag, and give them to me. I don't want any funny money. I don't want any die packs. I don't want any problems. Just do it.
As was said earlier, during a robbery, you're going to be scared. And if you're not prepared, you're going to make mistakes. In Illinois, the teller was afraid to give out bait money. She forgot to activate the silent alarm, even when it was safe.
Come on, hurry it up, will you?
In Texas, none of the employees had the presence of mind to activate the alarm.
Okay, everybody, get down! Move! Down! Move!
Do you know how your alarm system works? Are you confident that you could activate your alarm system or the surveillance cameras without arousing suspicion or having to hunt for buttons? If not, experience has shown that when the time comes, you'll either forget or be too scared to try. And you'll never get another opportunity for a surveillance photo like this.
May I help you?
Fill it up. Fill it up.
Yes, sir.
Not the coins, just the bills. Nobody moves! Not you, them. Fill it up.
One of the main reasons many employees fail to activate the alarm is the fear inside that police officers will burst in and there will be a shootout. In many cases, police officers have rushed in on a bank robbery in progress.
Come on, let's go.
After responding to hundreds of false alarms, it's easy to see why many officers stop believing that the next one could be the real thing. Some institutions even encourage this kind of response because they feel a high profile by the police is helpful. In reality, it's only helpful to the robber, who awaits anyone who might try to block his escape.
Hi.
Hi.
You having a problem with your alarm?
On other occasions, an improperly planned police response has resulted in other outcomes. For example, in Ohio, police trapped this man who claimed to have a bomb with him. He seized hostages for 21 hours, including the officer on the lower right and all the employees. In Rhode Island, this bank official was held hostage when the police rushed in. And in Georgia, this man was pistol whipped by a robber who became irrational when he merely saw the police outside. The point, of course, is to make sure there's been a plan developed between each financial institution and each local law enforcement agency to coordinate a safe response to prevent this. In responding safely to a silent alarm, invisible deployment tactics are utilized.
We have a silent alarm, Provident Federal Savings and Loan, 3756 Central.
For maximum safety and control, at least 2 officers are deployed for the response.
Unit 147.
147, Brockton and Nelson.
147, a silent alarm, Provident Federal Savings, 3756 Central. 3756 Central.
147, 10-4.
Unit 148, assist.
Unit 148, 10-4.
The goal is to reach the location with maximum speed and minimum detection from inside the institution. Officers respond with emergency lights on, but no siren, because the sound could panic the robbers into acting irrationally. Avoid squealing tires as you round corners or skidding to a stop. Both will telegraph your approach and arrival.
Unit 147 to 148.
Unit 148, go ahead.
147, I'll take the northwest corner from Central.
You cover the southeast corner from the alley.
Unit 148, 10-4.
Each officer approaches an assigned position. While en route, you'll want to scan the area for suspicious pedestrians or vehicles leaving the scene. Begin slowing your speed several blocks from the location. This will reduce engine noise, brake noise, and allow additional time to control your response.
Unit 148 in position at the southeast corner of the building.
As each patrol vehicle is positioned, emergency lights are turned off and the radio is turned down. Your final position will allow for maximum cover and maximum observation of the building. By remaining undetected on the perimeter, you and your backup avoid causing the robber to panic. 2 officers can safely cover all 4 sides of the building. Here's how it works. By deploying at diagonally opposite corners, the first responding officer maintains a visual on the front and one side. The backup officer covers the rear and the remaining side. This tactic allows for total surveillance of the exterior without creating a crossfire problem. Once in position, notify communications of the status of your response and any suspect movement.
Unit 147 to 148. I've got total vision of the front and the west sides of the building.
148, 10-4. From my position, I have view of the east and south side of the building and the parking lot.
Now, in some cases, officers can see inside. Here, the robber walked over to a window and surrendered. But most of the time, your ability to see inside is very limited.
Nobody move.
The benefit of invisible deployment is the opportunity to reduce the threat to your life and the lives of those inside, and to enhance the possibility of capture. If they're in there, you won't have long to wait. As you can see, invisible deployment often works.
Please, don't move! Put your hands up! Put them up! Drop the bag!
Where the robber exits and decides to take on the police, invisible deployment also works. Outside, civilians are less likely to become a hostage. Outside, you're in the best position to respond to the offender's actions and use the element of surprise to your advantage. Now, when officers respond, they have no idea if it's in progress, all over, or a false alarm. In some robberies, officers who initially were invisibly deployed gave up their position of cover to get a closer look. As we've said before, many buildings offer limited visibility from the outside. Unfortunately, a few officers have forgotten that often from the inside,
Give me all that money, come on.
the robber may have an excellent view of every move that's made, including the officer's last one. In another robbery, the officer remembered that it's safest to approach without being seen from inside. But he forgot another rule. Bank robbers often have their own backups on the outside. In this case, the officer discovered too late that he could not control 2 entrances at once. The rule remains, don't become too visible too quickly. In these situations, you be the judge. The tactic you will want to employ is to maintain your observation of the objective. Then have communications called into the institution to verify the status.
Unit 148.
Unit 148, go ahead.
Unit 148. Call Redlands Federal Savings and ascertain the circumstances inside.
Unit 148, 10-4, stand by.
If anything appears unusual, officers in the field are notified immediately. The safest verification approach is for the dispatcher to talk directly to a supervisor, preferably the security officer.
Redlands Federal Savings? Mr. Dan Goring, please.
Hello?
Mr. Goring? You appear to be having some problems with your phone lines. Can you check those for us?
You know, I've already checked them. We did have a problem with the alarm system this morning, and with all the confusion, I forgot to call. Who's this, by the way?
This is Mrs. Johnson with the Riverside Police Department. Apparently you've set off your alarm. Officers have responded to the location and are outside now. We'd like for you to go out front and meet the officers. What will you be wearing, sir?
Sure. I have on a light three-piece brown suit with brown tie, a light yellow shirt with brown shoes.
Regardless of what is said to the dispatcher over the telephone, maintain cover until you are contacted in person by a supervisor.
Mr. Gehring? I want you to move towards the sound of my voice. Put your hands out in the open so I can see you. Keep moving forward.
In all cases, the signal is a supervisor proceeding to your position of cover where he identifies himself.
Officer, I'm Dan Gehring, the branch manager. Okay, Mr. Gehring. I'd like you to very slowly open your coat up so I can see inside of it.
Ultimately, this is the only real indicator of what's happening inside. A proper verification procedure is followed on every silent alarm response. Otherwise, the dispatcher may identify herself at the wrong time to the wrong person.
Hello.
This is police department. Did you know your silent alarm's gone off again?
No, bitch, I didn't know that. But now that I do, I have all the bank employees on the floor. I don't want any hassles. If I see a cop out front, I'll blow his shit in the street.
Nobody move! I said, nobody move!
During an actual robbery, people inside will be frightened. But will you remember to stay calm, not to resist, or to play hero? It's a good idea. This man killed a teller who started screaming. This man shot an employee who was reaching for a telephone. This man shot a customer who refused to lie on her stomach. And this man attacked a security officer who had taunted him. Regardless of the circumstances or how scared you become, every employee has definite responsibilities.
Number 4, do it!
Number 2, go.
Everybody get down to the ground, now!
Get on the ground. Face down. Don't move. 30 seconds.
Tell her, get the money out, it goes in the bag.
If possible, make sure that bait money is included. You also want to activate the alarm when safe to do so.
Step back, get down on the ground, face down, face down!
45 seconds. Don't look up.
Just as important, you want to be observant. What are they touching? What do they look like? What do their firearms look
I
like?
told you to stay down!
And what are they saying?
1 minute.
Without staring, you should attempt to get a mental picture of each robber. Try to remember face, body, clothing, and any special behavior or visible scars.
1 minute, 15 seconds.
If you're an off-duty officer caught inside, remember, you won't have a good position or access to communications and may be outnumbered. Your role is to be the best possible witness and no more.
1:30.
In this robbery, only 1 out of 3 bothered to study the lookout. Would you have? Or would you fail to get a description because you spent your time thinking about disarming the robber?
That's it!
Let's go.
Until the robbers are all the way out the door, nobody moves.
Everybody stay down.
Obviously, if a shooting does start, the safest place to be is right where you are, on the floor, keeping low. But when they are gone, what are your responsibilities? Do you know? Did you know you should activate the alarm again in case it failed the first time, or in case no one activated it?
Debbie, call the police and stay on the line with them.
If you're the designated supervisor, maintain a low position as you move.
National Bank, 10301 Magnolia. Just a moment, please.
License is 23468.
California license 23468.
It's a blue Chevrolet truck.
It's a blue Chevy truck.
Has spoked wheels.
With spoked wheels. Would you hold just a moment?
The employee designated to call the police should stay on the line until officers enter. If it's safe, the senior supervisor should attempt to convey a description of the vehicle and its direction of travel. Robbers can be apprehended when a good vehicle description is available. Even though the police cannot always get there within 2 minutes, being observant can be of great value. When the suspects are gone, the doors to each entrance are locked. This helps prevent the robbers from re-entering.
Have your attention, please. Please don't speak amongst yourselves. Please remain where you are. Don't touch anything. Dorothy and Mark, will you please protect those areas where the robbers might have touched? Will you all remain here until the police arrive?
The next step is to make sure that areas of primary suspect movement are safeguarded. Valuable physical evidence, such as a shoe print, can be easily secured like this. In this incident, the robber dropped money in front of the teller stations. Notice how the area was secured. Here, an observant witness spotted the robber's hat. Would you have secured the area before someone touched the evidence? Every witness should fill out a suspect description form without discussing it with others, and while memories are still fresh. Inside, there may be those who can't stay. The best procedure is to gather information on how they can be contacted later.
Yes.
There's a meeting I've got to attend to, and I won't be able to stay.
I'd like to keep you here if at all possible.
Well, I'm late, and I do have to leave.
Do you have a business card?
Yes, I do. You can get a hold of me at this number.
Is that also your home phone?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. Sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem at all.
Another reason to make a record of everyone who leaves is to assist the police in detecting a possible accomplice, someone posing as a customer to ensure a safe escape for the robbers. Outside, the first responding officer will wait for the supervisor's approach.
Mr. Marsh, the police are here now.
Inside, many institutions use a brightly colored placard to signal when it's safe to enter. But on the outside, caution is again used to verify the supervisor's identity first.
Okay, real good, Mr. Marsh. Are there any injuries?
No, there's not.
Okay, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. We can go inside if you'd like.
Could you follow me, please?
Okay, real good.
As the primary officer enters, other officers assist in maintaining control outside. Command presence at the scene is crucial. Part of your job is to request additional officers to enter and conduct individual interviews with witnesses. This provides the best objectivity.
Okay, Mr. Marsh, before we start, is there any physical evidence that I should be made aware of?
Here, tellers were too frightened to explain what they saw because of all the confusion. Usually, only one officer is necessary to interview a witness. Some witnesses will be in a highly emotional state after a robbery. Take your time and ask specific questions.
Okay, just take your time, but I need for you to describe as best you can exactly what you saw and the suspects that you can describe.
Okay, I saw one with a brown ski mask, fatigue type jacket, and denim jeans.
Okay, about how tall was he?
About 5'8".
5'9" or 5'10".
Can you give me the vehicle description again?
It was a blue Chevy pickup truck,
Approximately what year?
late 69, early 70s.
What shade of blue?
Medium blue.
Was there anything distinguishable about the vehicle?
Nothing except it had a sunroof.
Okay, I have all their names and statements, so I'm through with them.
Fine, good.
Okay, can I go now? You're through with this?
Yes, sir. We've completed our initial investigation at this point.
It's also important that witnesses be able to contact investigating officers should they recall important details later.
In our investigation, please call me at this number.
After a robbery, a crowd will probably gather, including the news media. It's best not to release information about the amount taken, nor should you release the names of witnesses.
You understand that, bitch? Don't get cute. I don't want to have to use this. Go ahead. Go.
In the absence of cooperation between financial institutions and law enforcement, time and time again, the outcome of a robbery has resulted in needless bloodshed.
Come on, hurry. Come on.
Remember this, robberies are on the increase. The amount of time for a police response is on the decrease.
Keep your hands on the counter. I don't want to use this.
If you're a law enforcement officer, the opportunity to respond to any robbery in progress and get there before the offender leaves is greater than ever. The question is, when the people inside know what they should be doing, will you also respond safely?
44 code 6, advise on an ambulance.
Code 3.
Ambulance code 3. 487 report, Savoy Hotel, room 21. 45 clear.
Location for me.
Citizens request cab at 1235 Castillo Street. It'll be the church on the corner.
Roger. 44 clear.
Is it route station?
Roger 410.
46.
46, respond to 555 West Pueblo, apartment number 16. Contact the RP McKinney in regards to suspicious circumstances.
Roger.
541. 41.
Information, we're starting to get a lot of runoff on Eucalyptusville.
All right, Commander 1, you copy? Roger, 43. 43 does your Ida 1 want to handle that TA in the lobby then?
43, roger.
2 disregard. Ida 1 handle the TA in the lobby.
Send an ambulance code to this location.